Good evening and welcome to the Baltimore County Human Relations Commission September 13, 2023 Commission
December.
Board meeting. December 13th, 2023 board meeting. We're so glad to have you here. I am going to turn it over to Ashley Elliott, our compliance officer, for roll call, and then we will turn it over to our chairperson, Commissioner Blavitt, once the roll has been completed. Ashley.
Commissioner Ryan, Commissioner Greer,
Here.
Commissioner Rahman, Commissioner Blavitt,
Present.
Commissioner Jamil, Commissioner Willis King, Commissioner Medashevsky,
Present.
Commissioner Lewis,
I'm
Commissioner
present.
Marshall, is- Commissioner Lewis,
Yes.
Commissioner Lewis did respond as present.
okay. Commissioner Marshall,
Present.
Commissioner Blunt,
Present.
okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening. Welcome to the December, and as Ramona Brown Carter indicated, our last meeting of the calendar year. Thank you for taking time to spend with us and address the important business of the Baltimore County Human Relations Commission. For my report, just want to share that we are continually, I am working with the executive director to fill open seats for the commission, and that process is continuing, and that once there are more updates from the county executive, the executive director will be able to share that with us. And later on in the meeting, we're going to discuss the calendar, but I also want to make a note that for under new business, we'll have an opportunity for three commissioners who will be terming out this evening: Commissioner Rahman, Commissioner Medashevsky, and Commissioner Willis King. So we have an opportunity to, if they want to give any remarks to the commission, we'd obviously welcome that. But with that, I'll turn it over to you all, the commissioners, for anything that you'd like to report out specifically that's been occurring in your district, or something countywide that you feel would be a benefit for other commissioners to be aware of and the community at large. So anyone that wishes to share something at this time, please go ahead. I'm not seeing anyone unmuting at this time, so we'll continue to expeditiously move along and turn it over to Savitcha Peoples-Brown, the Executive Director, for your report.
Thank you, Chairman Blavitt, and good evening to all of our commissioners. Can the agenda and PowerPoint be brought up, please? So I just want to thank you all for being present for our final commission meeting of 2023. There's been lots of changes. Our strategic planning initiatives being one of them, which you all have heard me share before, and I just want to continue to iterate that, you know, it has definitely put us on a very, very exciting trajectory as we continue our roadmap on what we will focus on, along with the identification of various metrics for the next 3 to 5 years. So I'll talk a little bit more about the strategic plan as we go on, but just wanted to also just take a moment as we just kind of reflect at the end of the year that we also celebrated updating Article 29, which is the governing entity for our commission, and we now have the ability to both do investigations for claims related to hostile treatment, but we also have the ability to work with the circuit court to issue fines up to $5,000 for egregious matters. And so, again, as this is truly a season, because it's the end of the year, as we just kind of reflect on where we've been and what we've accomplished, we definitely have lots to celebrate and be thankful for. We can go to the second page. Actually, just hold here for just a moment.
Chief Peoples, before you do that, really quickly, if we could, we omitted and skip the voting in of the minutes for the previous meeting. They were sent
Okay.
out. Commissioner Blavitt, if you would. Thank you. Oh, you're muted, Commissioner Blavitt. Is it that we haven't met for? I see.
We do have, as I was double checking, we do have 6 commissioners, so we do have quorum, so we can proceed. In advance of tonight's meeting, the minutes were distributed from our last meeting. So at this point, I would entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Actually, and since there are actually no objections, any objections, they are accepted as submitted. All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. And I'll turn it back over to the executive director.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Audible. So one of the things that we talked about at our last meeting was the proposed 2024 calendar. There are some dates that there are holidays or religious celebrations that we wanted to flag, that we did flag for you at our last meeting. And so we proposed alternative dates. And so what we wanted to accomplish related to this evening is an official vote and to have any discussion if warranted on whether the proposed 2024 calendar is indeed feasible for all.
Yes, Commissioner Lewis.
The in-person meetings, where would they be held?
To be determined. I will say that the March meeting will likely be in Towson, but for the June and October meetings, it's not a guarantee that it will be in Towson. It may be in another part of the county.
Okay. I would just like to express my preference that they be in Towson.
Okay.
I'm working with another work group, and we will be having like 2 or 3 meetings every month in Towson. It is just really convenient. I'm sorry. If you consider Towson convenient, it's convenient.
And one of the reasons why traditionally, obviously, not just because of the seat, but we have done the meetings in Towson is because in many ways it's conveniently inconvenient for everyone.
Yes.
So by that nature, and obviously it allows us, if we want to have the county executive or someone else present, it's obviously conducive to that. So certainly a worthwhile consideration that I think we've considered in the past and will certainly consider going forward. So thank you, Commissioner Lewis.
Thank you.
And as the executive director indicated, we were trying to be sensitive to holidays so that and taking that into consideration. And we do realize that actually throughout the year as well, personal things do come up for all of us. And if there's some reason why you cannot attend as a commissioner, we obviously understand that. But we hope that by putting things on the calendar now, it allows us to do a little bit more scheduling and planning. Okay. What did you? I know we had it under new business, but do you want to go ahead and just take a vote at this time since we do have quorum and we do have everyone sufficient present to move forward? Are you comfortable with that?
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So that with the notation by Commissioner Lewis to a preference for Towson for our in-person meetings. Is there a motion to approve the proposed meeting calendar for 2024?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Blount. Second.
I second.
Thank you. I missed who it was, but Commissioner Greer or Lewis?
Oh, that was me, Sheila Lewis.
Well, okay. I thought so, but I wasn't positive. I looked away and I lost the screen. All right, all in favor, either put a hand up on your screen or aye.
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 Okay. Any opposed? That is approved. Thank you very much. I'll yield back to you.
Thank you all. And so send out the calendar invitations in advance so that you have it not only a document, but also on your calendar so that you can indeed plan accordingly for the year ahead. So we're really excited to go into 2024, continuing on the path that we've all been initiated on. So we can keep going. So as always, we want to share with you upcoming events. I'll actually turn this over to Ms. Brown Carter to provide you additional information, both about the upcoming events, and then we have one past event that we would like to share with you.
Good evening, everyone. As Chief Peoples Brown, the executive director, has mentioned, for an upcoming event, just want to give you a reminder that we are currently participating in the planning of the Hate Bias Forum. This will be held in 2024. I do see that we have some discrepancies here. January 30th and January 31st. January 30th will be the Hate Bias Law Enforcement Day, and then Wednesday, January 31st, will be the Community Day. The Community Day is certainly welcome. It is open for all to attend, but the preferred audience for the 30th is for law enforcement. This gives the police department an opportunity to have a safe space to have those conversations with the state of police and the Department of Justice, and to gain knowledge on how to report hate bias incidents. And then, of course, on the Community Day, we certainly would like for our commission members to be present. We are certainly looking to have a bid in for Baltimore County to host. However, Baltimore City has also put in their bid as well. So we are looking to see, as far as we've narrowed it down to our last university, which is UMBC. And so we'll know further information within the coming weeks. We'll be releasing it via email as we are not meeting in January. Chief Peoples Brown.
Thank you, Ramona. And if you go to the next slide, it's just the past event. If you can talk briefly about that, Human Rights Day.
Sure. And so for the most part, we should all be aware that December 10th is International Human Rights Day. And it was the 75th anniversary of the Declaration of the Human Rights and the development of the 30 Articles of Human Rights. They can be found here on the UN or the United Nations website, and more information on the International Human Rights Day. There is a video that will be released via email to the commission where we had invited different elected officials and appointed officials to represent our county, the specific counties that make up the body of the Maryland Association of Human Rights, and our county executive, Johnny Olszewski, and Jr., and our county administrator, Madam Stacey L. Rogers, certainly gave us the permission to use their voice and their video to make sure that Baltimore County was in the mention. So we do want to send a shout out to the executive team that made that happen. And we look forward to sharing that video with you via email. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramona. And there was question in the chat box from Commissioner Greer. What time is the community event on the 31st of January?
Thank you for asking. For both days, the event will be from 8, well, registration will be from 8 to 8:30, and the actual event will start at 8:30 and will run to about 4 o'clock. Um, Time permitting, we may get out a little early. We just want to make sure that everyone gets out and is not caught in traffic. And we know 695 is definitely a beast. So we want to try and make sure everyone gets out safely and amongst on their way home um, during that.
I'm sorry, Ramona, where's the location of the event?
The location has not been released yet. We have put in a bid for Baltimore County to host. And there's also been a bid for Baltimore City because we are two of the largest bodies for Central State. It's going to be either in Baltimore County or Baltimore City.
Okay, perfect. Will you be sending out, or Ashley sending out, a registration link for the commissioners? Because I certainly would like to be present that day.
Definitely, we'll make sure that once the flyer is released for the save the date and the link for registration is released, we'll make sure that you have that, and it will be a priority email from our office.
Great, thank you.
And I saw that Commissioner Lewis had her hand raised.
Oh, yes. You said the Tuesday meeting is for law enforcement, and you were recommending, or you were saying it was necessary for the commissioners to attend because law enforcement need to be free to communicate. Is that what you said?
No, ma'am. That I said it is most certainly open to the community if you choose to
Okay.
attend.
Okay.
However, it is a training and safe space for law officers to meet with the Department of Justice to get a better understanding on reporting hate crimes, better definition on defining what reporting looks like. So that's pretty much as far as that day is concerned. The training will be focused on law enforcement for the first day. There will be law enforcement there on the second day as well, but the first day is really pinpointed towards law enforcement. But we would, because if we do become the host county or city, the host site for this, we would need our Board of Commissioners to be present as far as helping with registration. So as we get that information in and we understand where we're moving, we will release that to you as well. So you're welcome to attend.
Okay, but if we choose to, we could attend that. Yes?
You can, but
Okay.
I don't want you to feel outnumbered by the law enforcement in the room. That's all.
I won't.
Okay. All righty. Chief Peoples Brown. Oh, Commissioner Blount, did you have your hand up?
Yes, I just wanted to ask a question on, you said, you talking about New Year's Eve?
No, sir.
We're
January
talking
3rd.
we're talking January 30th.
I saw December, I'm sorry.
Okay, January 30th and 31st of 2024. As far as the Hate Bias Forum.
Okay, got
But also just remind everybody, the discussion as far as the Human Rights Day, that's obviously we just passed a couple of days ago.
Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief Peoples, are you ready to continue?
Yes, we can continue on. I think the next slide, okay. So this is just a snapshot for everyone's awareness on where we are with vacancies and recruitment. The second column has the list of current vacant roles, if you will. The second and the third column, as far as whether or not the seat is at large versus if it is associated with a council district. As you can see, this isn't the complete roster. This is specifically what is currently vacant as well as what will be vacant as of December 31st of this year. So in a couple of weeks. Right now, we currently have a total of 4 applicants who we would have, we're in the process of scheduling interviews. 3 of those applicants are from District 4. 1 is from District 6. Of course, you don't have to, you can be associated with any district when being appointed to an at-large seat. But what we wanted to do here is not only be transparent as far as where we are, but to also request your assistance in recruitment. You all are very present and active in the community. So any recommendations that you have, please share them with us and or share it with your council representative. It would be great if we could also be included on that communication thread, because we can also help to facilitate and streamline the process to getting those individuals on the roster to be interviewed and approved. We are putting together a comprehensive marketing strategy to beef up our outreach efforts. The common theme is that many individuals don't know who we are or what we do throughout the community. And so that's where you all come in to assist in getting the message out. We also have, we'll have a script, like, if you will, that we could provide those who are interested. We'll make it available if you're interested in referring to it, so be it. But we are also putting together, actually, no, we actually already have, and we will make sure to share with you an official flyer, if you will, where individuals can just scan a QR code, and it'll take them directly to the portal to complete application. So we'll make certain to get that all to you all by the end of this week. And I just thank you in advance for your assistance in supporting the outreach of getting these seats filled. Commissioner Blount, did you still have your hand raised, or did you have?
No, all right, I don't.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I have
All
a
right.
question about the recruitment. Are we going to have at some of the events, will that be also an opportunity for people to maybe sign up and express an interest and also getting more information?
Absolutely, absolutely. So each event that we are present, we have a booth, we have a table, and so we are also utilizing that as an opportunity to conduct active outreach. I think this happened after our meeting last month. I can't remember the timing, but when we had the youth summit, because remember, we now have up to 3 seats approved for those between ages 16 and 18 who can serve on the commission, and we had several youth come up. Unfortunately, several of them were not within the 16 to 18 age range, but we are also reaching out to the school system to help spread the word, to make certain that we have the fair representation also from that group. Any other questions? So I'll go through this section pretty quickly because you all have seen this before. Just an overview of our strategic plan, phase 1, clear and defined path forward. We have updated roles and responsibilities. You all we're tweaking them. We're making some additional edits. You all will receive them at the February meeting. There's no January meeting, so you all will receive them in advance of the February meeting, and that will be what is finalized as far as the roles and responsibility for the various commission seats. Standard operating procedures is phase 2. That's what we are segueing into. The date is to be determined. I'm hopeful that before the end of the year, or by the end of the year, we will have that time frame narrowed, because that will be an in-person meeting. It will likely coincide with the March. I believe March is when we have our first in-person meeting of the year. And so to just be conscious of everyone's time as you participate, come to participate, for the commission meeting that earlier that day, we would have a closed session to really focus on the standard operating procedures for the review of closed cases during the phase, which is obviously outlined as phase 2 of the strategic planning work. Later in the year, we will focus on phase 3, which is identifying our 3 to 5 year plan, where we establish what our goals are, the subject, the topic areas. So as an example, we often, well, not often, but each meeting, we talk about hate bias and hate crime. So I would imagine that that would be one of 3 to 5 topical areas that we will focus on over the next 3 to 5 years. And we would just identify what the various strategies and action items associated with each subject or goal type will be. So that is to come. We can keep going. And we can keep going because we've gone through this. I wanted to give you all an update on the hate bias incident and crimes trends. The last time we met, we had data through July, and just looking at the line graph, you can see, that it's been somewhat consistent with a few peaks during certain times of the year. Wanted to just highlight with circled September 2023 that we're actually awaiting data from September. And so we just wanted to flag it that we are aware that it is certainly an anomaly. And when we have that updated data, we'll send out the updated graph as well as the updated total through October so that you have the most up-to-date information. We are working with, sorry, can you go back? We are also working with the state and are having conversations with our own local police department to talk about ways to continue to build public trust, because we know that we know that this is an underreport, if you will. That this is while this is data that we received, that most often especially hate bias events, are often underreported, and so we definitely want to change the perspective of the community to come forth with reporting that information. And we also want to begin being more vocal and transparent about what the outcomes are when it is reported, because we know that value proposition is everything. In reporting this information, the information is great, but what is the next? And so that is one thing that we are working very closely with on our team to define in a very metric way what the outcomes are, so that can assist us as we continue to work to build public trust around hate bias incident and hate crimes reporting. Of course, it's unfortunate that we have to even have a conversation regarding reporting, but we are also, this is where you all would definitely come in to help us to identify strategies of mitigation. This will be an ongoing conversation. As you all know, you receive this data every month, but we have taken the necessary steps to now what action items are associated with the information that we have. And so throughout our strategic planning process, as I mentioned earlier, I suspect this is being one of the focal areas over the next 3 to 5 years, where we do a really deep look at what goals and strategies will be associated with mitigation. Okay.
Okay, before you jump into that, I just wanted to note, if you would, for the purpose of the minutes, Ms. Elliott, that Commissioner Willis King did join earlier on the meeting, and she's here to get back in, so she has been present.
Yep, I got her.
Thank you.
Commissioner Lewis has her hand up.
Yes. This report, I know, is not reflective of of the reality of life in our communities. I just know from talking to people in my community, the diverse people in my community, it's not an actual reflection of the atmosphere in the community. Um, and I don't know if what we're calling it is needs to be, I don't know, but a lot of it, and I think it's been brought up in the media in some type of context, is about when some of these things happen, people consider it free speech. However, the people to whom it's directed, it is intimidating and harassment, and they even fear for their own physical safety. So I don't know if it's the title is that, and I suppose that would um, encourage more reporting once people understand um, the function of the Human Relations Commission and what they can feel comfortable going to governmental um, representatives to report. Because a lot of things are not reported because people think, okay, that's that person's opinion. They have the right to say that. But at some point, we need to be able to capture that information so that we can be aware as a commission, so that we can be aware of any kind of trends that are happening that might mean that we will step up more education or something like that. Because if those trends continue, they can escalate. And that's the thing that concerns me that we are not necessarily capturing in the reports. This comes from the police department, so that's right off tells me it's risen to that extent. But is a development of strategy that we can start capturing that information before it gets to the point of it is a something reportable to the police department. That we can see those trends and see what we can do to mitigate, whether it's through education or information or something. And that's my concern about um, this reporting, how it's done, and what's done with it, what we're doing to get that information from the community.
Thank you for that feedback. I do agree with you. So I think that we can take a deeper dive, a closer look at how to close some of those loopholes. Because you are right. This is data that we receive strictly from the police department, which, for all intents and purposes, is the only metric, if you will, that we have to go on. But we should definitely consider broadening it, and that's something that we will have to continue to benchmark and identify the best practices, the best way to try to fill those gaps.
Yeah, because one of my concerns was that as a commission um, that we find a way to start building alliances with different groups, subgroups, whatever, so that they can report this is what they're feeling, this is what they're hearing in their communities, to say people are hearing this, people are feeling this, and that way, as a commission, maybe there's, like I said, intervention with um, meetings or something, so that it doesn't get to the point of it being a reportable incident to the police department. That we're
Mm-hmm.
mitigating, coming in to the communities, resolving the issues, working with whatever they're feeling, what they feel is being targeted to them, so that it doesn't get to the point that is a reportable incident. That we are mitigating that kind of thing through education and communication. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or feedback?
Yes, I just wanted to say, I think in the previous meetings that we had, I think I spoke about some incidents that were happening at the schools, Newtown in particular. I was sharing with the commission that there was a large police presence and there was a lot of incidents going on with, I don't know exactly what it all involved, but schools are really where we need to focus on for us to teach these kids or have like some suggestions to the schools that they need to talk about these type of things that are happening, because a lot of these things do happen at that level, and we need to teach these kids even earlier than that, maybe in an elementary school, about these kind of things. And it's just has gotten, just out of hand. Whether it's, you can have hate groups going on in the same community. It could be the same race. It could be a whole lot of different factors. But I think just the topic itself needs to be taught to our kids at the elementary level, or maybe even before that, because these things are happening at a constant pace with social media and everything like that. These kids are getting caught up with it, and then they're becoming adults. So we really need to take this to that level so that these kids can have this conversation, on a monthly, basis, or maybe more, so they will understand what's going on. So I agree with Commissioner Lewis that we need to really try to expand ourselves to those levels to where we can reach these children and let them know, because a lot of them are in total fear. So that's just what I want to add.
Thank you.
This is Commissioner Lewis again, and that was something brought to my mind too about the children. A lot of times it starts as bullying,
Yes.
and bullying unchecked escalates, and this is a behavior that they will continue to use as an adult, and then it becomes intimidation, and it goes on beyond that. So you're right to try to find some way to get to the young people. We're talking about ways to reach out to do things a little bit differently. And maybe we could have a forum sometime in the future for young people. Maybe talking about bringing in um, students from high schools to one auditorium or something, and have the conversation with them. What are you feeling? What kind of things are you afraid of? How do those kind of conversations about the bullying, because the bullying for children unchecked and never challenged, never action directed towards changing that behavior as they get older and they become adults. It, it it is intimidation, because they just feel they have the right to do that. They consider it free speech, and it is not. And it's making people feel very unsafe and threatened.
Thank you. We've captured your feedback. This is good.
I am going to just unmute myself for a second, and just following the thread of what others have said on the call already, I wonder if this is not an opportunity to partner with another educational group to actually develop curriculum. A one and done forum is nice, but it may not be enough to really help them move sort of the needle on this issue. And the other thing that I'm thinking about is where we might be able to partner with folks who have trauma-informed backgrounds, and can speak to not only the bias that's happening and bullying, but give kids some strategies, understanding that this has already been traumatic for them, that they're living it every day.
Mhm. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. I think there are some. Um, there is. I think there's something out there. I know I've seen some bullying presentations directed towards middle school. So I think you're right there. Maybe to find out what's out there, and see if there's something that we could use, or we could put it, piggyback on. Um, it'd be very interesting if we did to start this in schools, um, talking about raising a profile of HRC. The kids are going to go home and tell their parents about it. So, I mean, there's like, right there, there's an opportunity for us to raise our profile and for people to get to understand what we're about and what we're trying to do.
Excellent points, Commissioner Lewis, Val and Marsh. I mean, that's I think the executive director certainly knows we have, the commissioners have an idea where we want to go, and we'd like her to help get us there. So I'm sure it'll be back on our agenda at our next meeting. And if you can, in the interim, see what partnerships and also what possibilities should we be with Baltimore County Schools or others, so that we can. And I love the idea of the fact that we're not one and done, as Commissioner Marshall said, that we actually set up a framework to be used and replicated and duplicated throughout the county and also in other counties. So great conversation, great ideas, and this is the energy that we're certainly looking for. I'll turn it back to you, Executive Director.
Okay, thank you. And I've just been taking my own notes as I'm listening. I'm thinking of ways, next steps, if you will, on our end that we want to take a closer look at, because I think that you all made excellent points, and we all care about the same thing, and so making certain that we have a very impactful and sustainable strategy forward is always my goal, always the team's goal. So I appreciate the feedback. This has been super, super helpful. Okay. Before we go to the next slide, I just also wanted to add a couple things. One, we do have a relationship with the BCPS Equity Office. And so that's one of the notes that I wrote down, is to engage with them on their thoughts on how we could potentially expand our collaboration. So more to come. That is an action item that we took. And then the other is just switching subjects altogether. We do have a final report. This is the first DEI final report that will be published by December 31st. And so this is a comprehensive review. The time frame is July 1st, 2022 through November 30th, 2023, of all the work that we've done. Naturally, the work of the commission is also included. And so I encourage you all, once the link is available, and of course we'll send it to you, to please review it. This is our very first. We have a mandate as part of the codification of the Division of DEI to produce an annual final report. And this December will be our first. And so I'm very, very proud. The team is proud. And you'll see that we have a hefty load, and it's not insurmountable. And this will be something, the work that we do as we continue forward, to specifically talk about, how we can improve capturing and mitigating hate, bias, and hate crime incidents. That will be also another legacy, another stamp that we will be able to demonstrate in next year's report. And, we're all about benchmarking and, laying the foundation. So if there's something that we're doing that is proven viable, it'll be great for other jurisdictions to also see, because we're all in this together at the end of the day. We are Baltimore County, but, we are the state of Maryland. So we want to make certain that what we do is being impactful, not only for our, direct community, but that it has the positive ripple effects for our surrounding counties as well. So just did not want to conclude today's call without sharing that with you all. So we can go ahead to the next slide. So I know that Commissioner Rahman, I don't think she joined us. Is that right? I can't see the full list.
I don't believe she was able to.
Okay. And was Commissioner King able to rejoin?
Yes, Commissioner King
Okay.
and Commissioner Machewski. So actually, and I get Commissioner King, you dropped off or had the connection issue before. At the outset, we certainly want to give you and Commissioner Machewski an opportunity to share any thoughts or views or words before we wrap up this meeting being your last meeting as commissioners. Certainly not doesn't mean that your last meeting as part of participating with the Baltimore County Human Relations Commission. So if you're able to, I don't know if you are, if you can unmute yourself, if you'd like to share any thoughts, we'd welcome that. And then certainly hear from Commissioner Miniszewski as well.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yay. I just can't seem to get my picture on here. Anyway, I think I sent an email earlier, but I just wanted to say it has been my pleasure over the past 5 years working with everyone. I think the commission staff does a very good job in keeping us informed of everything. And I really look forward to hearing about the Human Relations Commission in the future by way of the various ways that you are talking about doing. Very excited about that. So I will look for you guys in the future. And good luck to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's been, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just thanking Commissioner King. And please know that you will be a part of our official alumni list. So you will continue to receive emails from the team. Of course, not in your commissioner capacity, but as your official community member capacity. So, you will definitely very much be connected to us, whether you like it or not. So thank you again for your service.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Commissioner Miniszewski.
Yes, thank you. Well, definitely, yes. Over the past years, the staff's been wonderful. And I want to thank everybody for being helpful and working with me. I definitely want to thank Johnny Yashevsky Sr., who first elected or appointed me to represent our district, and now Todd Crandall. So it is nice that they selected me to represent my district. I want to make a kind of comment is I definitely wish I would have had some more input in putting term limits, because I'm kind of a little disappointed at how this came up to be let go when my councilman would have loved to cut me on as a commissioner to represent my district. And seeing the 2 years term limits coming up, I definitely would have liked to have had a little bit more input, because since we do have 3 and 5 year plans, and I definitely feel diversity should have been more of an issue than term limits. I see things changing over the years, and I have to say the diversity we had in the past has actually educated me and helped me understand things that I didn't understand. And I really feel worried more about term limits, time, than diversity can hurt the commission. So I'm definitely would love to see that in the future. I definitely, disappointed because I didn't want to walk away like this, but it is what it is. I wish everybody a good and happy holidays. And for every past commissioner I work with, I love you all dearly. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner Miniszewski. Let me just also say that, because I know I didn't reiterate this tonight, but just to put it on everyone's radar, the DEI Community Council, it was first established in 2019, that's right. And right now we're going through a reimagining phase. The council will work very, very closely with the Human Relations Commission. Right now, there are no council members. The DEI Community Council, there are no council members. So I encourage you all, if you are interested in continuing to work with us and you prefer, to work even closer than just being an attendee, to consider applying to the DEI Community Council, because that is a way to continue to engage with us, just to provide you additional insight on what their roles and responsibilities will be, which that will also be a part of phase 2 as far as putting a comprehensive document together to make certain that it's clearly defines on what the delegation is separate from the commission is when it comes to the review of the closed cases. So the commission will be responsible for reviewing closed cases and identifying what the various trends, recommendations are as it relates to, that a particular case or perhaps the review of several cases. Based on the action items that are defined, those will be referred over to the council. And then it will be the council's responsibility to help bring those various action items over the finish line. So we know that the commission has its own set of not even just statute of limitations, but its own set of workload, basically, right? There's community events, there's the, new now closed case review, there's the, various initiatives associated with the goals that we're going to identify as our strategies, our key focus areas over the next 3 to 5 years. And so to reduce the burden on the commission to also have to do, legislative research or advocacy around recommendations associated with closed cases, that's where the council comes in. That's where the council comes in a supportive role. So as I mentioned, whether you want to or not, you'll be added on the alumni list. And so once
And I
that,
understand that, but I just thought it would be great. It would have been great to come to the commissioners itself to ask input on how this bill came through. So that was my thing. And the same thing is one of the things that we've done so much in the past years before COVID. I was able to go and represent and go to our community associations and meetings in the district and represent that. I just feel with a shorter term, this will not allow the person to get as educated quick enough to go out and meet the public in the district. That's what my concern is. And then, of course, not being involved in even hearing my input on these term limits, then, of course, I have to always worry about the upcoming thing with the fines and stuff like that. So, again, when I feel like I'm kind of not hearing certain things, that would be my concern.
Got it. Understood. I have to go through our meeting minutes, but I believe we did share, I'm pretty positive we did share the draft bill at one of our strategic planning sessions over the summer. That was the setting in which we talked about it in person. And then I believe we shared when it was first introduced, we also shared that via electronically with the commission as well. So I do apologize if we missed that.
You don't have to apologize. I just wanted to share with how I felt about it, and kind of like, in a way, kind of disappointed that I was feel like I'm being let go. So.
Well, I'm so sorry you feel that way. That is not our view whatsoever. But we do hope that you do consider participating as a DEI council member, and or continue to just attend our meetings.
Okay. Well, thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you all for your participation this evening. What we had under new business, we actually already addressed as far as the commission meeting meeting dates. So at this point, I'll wish everyone a happy.
This is Commissioner Shields.
Yes.
Lewis, can I say something, please?
Oh, please go ahead. I didn't see your hand there. Sorry.
No problem. I just want to give acknowledgement to I think the intern we had with the DEI program, Aaron A.J. Williams. I don't know if he's still there, but I'm alumni of University of Baltimore, so I get their publications on a regular basis. And he and Ramona Brown Carter were mentioned in an article that they have for their special program called Next Generations, with their developed interns for public service. And I just want to give, recognition that they didn't have Ramona's picture, but they did. I think they did have AJ, or maybe it's Ramona, but they did mention that and how they participate in that program. And the University of Baltimore is in their alumni magazine. So I thought it was very nice.
Definitely. Thank you for sharing. That's
Thank you.
and I know knowing certainly Ramona Brown Carter, she would be modest and she wouldn't share even if she was in there. So uh, so I'm glad you stepped up and shared that.
Before you adjourn the meeting, Commissioner Rahman did send an email. Says, sorry I couldn't get on tonight. I tried. Especially wanted to say goodbye to everyone. She is very sad. So she did make an effort to try and be here on this evening, but was experiencing technical difficulties, like some of the other commissioners. So I just wanted to just make her statement on record for the evening. Um, Thank you, Commissioner Lewis, for bringing that up. We have had an awesome opportunity and relationship with University of Baltimore and their Next Gen Leadership Program. We actually hosted two more fellows or interns this past fall semester, with one graduating this coming Monday. So we are just excited to continue this relationship with University of Baltimore. And with that, that's it from me. I'll turn it back over to you, Commissioner Blackburn.
Okay, thank you. Again, I just want to wish everyone a happy, healthy holiday season and a great 2024. I thank you for taking the time this evening and what you do outside of the commission meetings because it's important what we do in the community and the bridges that we build and that really connects those people to us and then us to the commission. So again, thank you for your time. It's looking forward to seeing you on February 21st, and that will be a virtual meeting as well. And with that, I'll let Ramona Brown Carter go ahead and stop the recording.
Thank you for attending tonight's meeting. If you need the Human Relations Commission, you can reach us at BCHRC, Baltimore County, BaltimoreCountyMD.gov. And we look forward to hearing from you or you enjoy joining us on the next meeting. Thank you and have a good evening.